I just got robbed. They came into our flat when we weren't home and took our stuff, including my iPad that I've been using for my illustrations and my camera that I use to film these videos. When I got the news that we had gotten robbed, there was naturally a lot of things that went through my head. But what I was mostly worried about regarding the robbery was that they'd taken my hard drive with all of my photos and work documents, or if they've managed to take my childhood photos somehow. Luckily, those things were still there when I got back home. But it did spark the whole idea about non-attachment. The notion that anything can happen at any time, that you are not guaranteed a certain outcome, or that tomorrow will be the exact same as today. A reminder that control really is just an illusion. And the importance of adaptation. Because you can't refuse change to happen. It is inevitable. And when it does happen, all you can do is adapt. Adaptivity will forever be the solution to change. You can see that in animals and plants. That's because the species that were most able to adapt to the changes around them ended up being the ones surviving. When you think of change as limiting, you are missing the bigger picture. Only because the path you're going on is temporarily or permanently blocked does not mean that there's not a field of other paths to get to the same destination. It might take time, it might be more of a struggle, or you might discover a shortcut or a new idea along the way. It opens up your eyes to a whole other set of possibilities that you might not have seen otherwise. As for me, I felt like I'd become a bit set in my ways of how I wanted to create a video and the way I wanted to use the art of storytelling. And when those exact steps were no longer an option, things seemed very confusing. But that's the beauty of limitations, because it forces you to be creative. It forces you to look outside of the box and mold your ideas to its surroundings. It also helped me strip down the fluff, the high quality camera, the faster computer where I could create more within the software. When all of this is gone, you are left with a message, with the intention when you're not distracted by all the extra effects you can add. Because that does not consume most of your time anymore. You are forced to look further into the core idea. It also forces you to leave the perfectionism behind. The standard that you have set for yourself for certain things. Because perfectionism can be a very destructive and limiting mindset. Feeling that you cannot present something before it reaches a certain point. So you might end up never presenting it. For example, I became accustomed to presenting finished projects only, as if processes and experimentations were not welcomed or good enough. This painting in particular is a part of the Women of the World coloring book that I'm creating. I'm making several paintings from some of the illustrations. If you want to learn more about the project, I did explain it in my last video. And I also have a playlist with more process videos of the illustrations I've already created. But the point is that it was sort of an unwritten rule that the art pieces in the videos were finished. And I guess it's a result of the increased tempo we seem to all be sucked into. The notion of having something new to present all the time. And it's really the opposite of what I based Chasing Waters on from the beginning. It started out as a simple idea of creating just to create. Because throughout the years I had been so detached from drawing, something that used to bring me so much joy. And something that was a big part of my life throughout my childhood and teenage years. I wanted to have a space to create freely and just post whatever I created. Social media was more of a space to keep me accountable for doing it. But the core essence of it was to create. So for me, a few years later, to be so attached to the idea of only using certain tools and presented in a certain way really defeated the whole purpose of why I started this project in the first place. So I think this whole situation has been a great eye-opener and reminder of the initial intention. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a comment if you want, or leave a suggestion. I'll talk to you in the next video. Until next time.